Yeah. Yeah, I just got here. Doing in the truck. What for? Alright, yeah, I guess I'll just be in the truck waiting on you. Alright. Oh, what he gonna do now? Oh. Oh man, he's got me in that dang old Smokey and the Bandit movie. Oh my.
All right. So you're probably wondering why that's all in there. And we are sponsoring a party that a sponsorship just opened up, and we've got to get all that beer and the Topo Chico down to Arkansas in 3 hours. I know, that's a long ways for 3 hours, but you know how much we're going to get from this, from just all the people that are going to be there? Like, it's worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down, but if I get a speeding ticket, you're paying for it.
Well, that's what I got this for. This is going to pull all the heat off of you. I'm going to be the lead car, pull all the Smokies off, and that's really all, you'll have to worry about, because nothing's going to be in your way. You just keep trucking and going. Got it?
Do I have a choice?
No. Let's
Perfect.
go.
Let's do it.
Wait, what? No, I'm not playing this part of the movie. There's no way. Of course. Dispatch, I think I'm the Smokey and I gotta go chase the bandit now.
Hey, Bandit, looks like a Smokey pulled out there. Did you see him?
Yeah, he's already on me. Let's see how much luck he's got today. All right, well, all kidding aside, here she is in all her glory. Time to get down to the nitty-gritty, the walk around that you're used to seeing with our other releases and reveals. This thing has been, 5-6 months in the making. We were originally thinking March, and now we're in May. We'll get into that a little bit more. But wait a minute, you guys didn't want to stay in character? Come on, lame. Anyways, we're gonna do the walk around now. Gotta just go into each section and talk about what went through our process. And speaking of process, this is our biggest build we've done by far. The Bronco was the last step, and this is the next step of what GKR can do. You know, the Bronco had lots of custom to it. It was nice. I mean, beautiful, beautiful car. But we did a lot with the powertrain and the drivetrain on this. Really taking it to the next level. You know, we got some pretty high horsepower numbers, and still not releasing those yet. But for now, we're going to start with the body. I'm going to let Austin talk about the engine and the power and then the drivetrain and kind of what we went through there, and then Joe's going to go through the interior, and you know, that's kind of their specialty. If they had one, we all do everything, but you know, this is kind of that other next step for GKR where I do more of the designing, talking with the customers, which this was a spec build, but doing more of the building the full package from a design standpoint and what we need, what we think will work for either a customer or for a spec build to make money. And we're pretty sure this is going to make some money. You'll see it on Bring a Trailer here probably next few weeks. But yeah, so we'll start with the body. I mean, really, that's the biggest reason why we're 2 months behind on this from March to now May. And it's black car. If you know anything about painting and body work, black cars are the hardest. And there wasn't a lot of metal work. You know, we put in a new rear floor because it had some just too much Swiss cheese in it that we just wanted to just put a new piece in. And then there were some just little spots here in the rear window tray and the lower rear quarters, some just very small metal spots that we had to fix, and then that little slight dent from a previous, looked like a fender bender, you know. It was enough to need a repair because it was bent in, but by far not a hard hit at all. So fix that, the metal work, you know, but then the body work, you know, it's just, there's a lot of curves on this. These cars, you know, they're from the 70s. They may not think curvy, but if you look down through here, you know, you can really see kind of that body line and how great it, you know, it's a really cool body line. And like I said in a previous video, these things are kind of ugly until you start putting these stripe packages on to really like accentuate the body lines. But, you know, we got it done, the body work, got it into paint, and man, it just came out perfect. You know, there was like a couple spots here and there that were like, ooh, like, how do we miss that? You won't notice them because they're covered up by flares. So, whew, thank God on that. But everything overall is really, really nice. I mean, it's a really nice package on the bodywork. And yeah, I mean, you'll see from some of this B-roll that's probably rolling right now, we're very proud of just the bodywork and how it came out. So now, Austin.
Okay, so for my favorite part of the build, the engine compartment. When we sat down and thought about how we want to do this car, because we're really on the table, do we want to do a spec build or do we just kind of want to clean her up a little bit and send her down the road? One fateful test drive was like, let's make this thing nice. Which, nothing actually wrong with the car, just happened to have a bad sending unit and put us on the side of the road with no fuel. Well, we didn't realize that until after we got the motor out of it, but that's not important. To replace it, we decided to take it with the GM family, and we wanted something that would be reliable, streetable, and make plenty of horsepower, so if you really want to compete with something, you'll be just fine doing it. So we went ahead and, with the help of Barefoot Willie's Speed Shop, or Corey, we decided to do a LS3 based stroker kit. 4-inch stroke, Molnar crank, Molnar rods, Manley pistons. Very nice setup. It's a very nice rotating assembly. ARP hardware all throughout. It is very ready for boost if someone would ever want to go that route on this vehicle. And then the next step was, well, what do we want to do for transmission? You know, the car isn't automatic, but we're taking the time to make a really nice motor here, and we want this car to be a really fun driver. And you may not be the fastest, but you can't beat a manual in a car like this. So we went ahead and got a Tremec T56 Magnum for it. Include a twin disc clutch. Very nice setup. And then we went all the way back to the back with a Ford 9-inch rear end. So everything is stout all the way through. You'll have no problem making power. reliably and safely. So we went through the fun part. Let's go to the comfortable part.
All right, so here's the comfort side of things. Basically, you can see that everything was kept to kind of pay homage to like the original styling, or just pay certain attention to like the cues of the car. So obviously, this being a Bandit Trans Am, you can see we've got this really nice houndstooth material with the Alcantara on the bottom parts of the seats in the front and the rear. These seats, I mean, not only do they look really nice, but they're comfortable, and they will definitely keep you bolstered when you're handling the powertrain of this vehicle. With the rest of this car, you can see we have a lot of nice touches. For instance, the shift knob. I mean, it's honestly my personal favorite part of this interior. And then we come to this dash. We got, these new gauges. They are, they bring the car up to like modern, standards, but also keeping in theme with the fact that this is a, 77 Bandit Trans Am. One of the other things that we did was with this radio. It's obviously not stock, but it also has modern functionality with Bluetooth and everything like that. So, you can listen to whatever music you like, but yeah. And then we got vintage air. The carpets are brand new. It's just honestly a really nice place to be. It's, a fun car, but at the same time, really comfortable, really nice.
All right, so now you've seen all the pretty stuff on the outside. What about the stuff you can't see? Which is the brakes, the suspension, all the stuff underneath this car that go in hand in that experience. The experience definitely includes in going fast, but then also stopping just as fast. You want to be able to stop with this car. So we went weld all the way around, just went black. We didn't want to, get red or yellow or any of those colors you can get. We want to keep it black because, of course, that's just the tone with this car. We did a Wellwood master cylinder, and then we went to Hydro Boost actually to kind of help just with the brakes. That's just a nicer setup, but it is also a pain in the butt. If you know, you know. We did that just because the cam that's in this engine, those bigger cams don't really provide as much boost. And we just didn't want to have to worry about that when we got to this point and got this far. We don't have to worry about not enough vacuum. I said boost, but I meant vacuum. Because original boosters use vacuum to work. So it's not the biggest cam, but it's definitely big enough that we might have had some vacuum issues. So that's the brakes. On the suspension, we went with a UMI performance setup, adjustable front coilovers on their own control arms. On the rear, we went with a Detroit spring 2-inch lowering blocks to get the stance, and then again Viking shocks back there as well, fully adjustable. We went with the biggest sway bars we could put on this thing. I forget the exact specs. I'm not going to put it on here because I don't know exactly, but they're the biggest we could possibly get, front and rear. And then in-tank fuel pump, 450 liters per hour, I think. Enough to supply this and more. Especially with the power we're pulling from this. So that's kind of everything underneath. It just rounds out the package of the whole car. Everything you don't see, we still want to be as nice as the things you can see. So we hope you love this car. We hope that if you're interested in it, you keep bidding. Never stop bidding. Just keep hitting bigger numbers. When we're on Bring a Trailer here in a bit. It's going to be sad to see it go. Another freaking dream car. It is what it is, though. I'm just glad I got to dress up as Smokey, right? Bandit, and run away from Smokies. So I'll leave you with a little Bandit laugh, Hopefully this thing does as good as we're hoping it does, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. And say it really loud. Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Boom. Nailed it.